Warning: this video may contain vulgar language and adult content. If you are easily offended or are susceptible to events pertaining to death, gore, family troubles, or other potential threats, then know that viewer discretion is advised. Please be safe when viewing and stop the video if you need to. Safety is far more important to us than entertainment. So please enjoy your time here with us as we explore this fantasy world.
So what are you gonna do about the rest of us then?
Like a sea hag, but a night hag.
Alright, I'm gonna do a link stab.
Do not cause trouble. This is trouble.
I'm about to get bitch slapped by a halfling. Grabs him, pulls out Moon Shadow, and holds it to his neck.
Let's get a busy signal.
So you begin communicating.
The ground is eating a troll. I don't like this ground. Oh yeah, I just completely forgot it.
So what do I need to roll?
You can see Rex literally eating his dice.
Yeah!
Use that frying pan as a drying pan.
Rapier stab!
You use your action to cast fly.
Fuck!
I can't.
Convey a message of what the fuck are you saying? Be quiet. I'm gonna tackle that troll and maul it to death, hopefully. I'll observe.
Got disadvantage on it. That's a 2.
You stab the one you were talking to. You hear yes. Those that are looking back, all you hear is no. You look at Ryder, nothing. You look at everyone else, turn back. He has a shovel. Great God's War Call.
I forgot my line.
What?
The episode charming, Ryder Hopkins.
What line? Just say your goddamn name.
Continue.
Cool. Jacqueline Ashriver, at your service.
I am Zacchaeus, the Tiefling Druid.
I'm Felix.
Rex Rivers here.
And I am the DM. Welcome back to Misrolled Adventures,
Yay!
where the players make plans,
Where's your
horribly
energy?
execute them,
And also forget their name.
Look, I am definitely ill right now, so...
He is unfortunately sick. We are also unfortunately missing Gopher. He is unfortunately not going to be able to play for a bit of some time. Personal issues have gone on, so we have to continue. He'll just be drunk.
But
so problem solved.
But he'll be back eventually.
That's not funny. Beside the point.
That was a real
Is
sick
he
joke.
actually dead now?
No, he's
Right.
yeah, he's just passed. Yeah, right. But
Okay.
we're
For
continuing.
being insensitive.
If you're ever interested in any other tabletop RPGs, I highly recommend that you check out RPGLeague at their website now because it has tons of different sites with other individuals, podcasts, people that create content as well as products. You should definitely check them out at their Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter if there's any new updates. So look at their website at www.rpgleague.com and you'll be able to even find us on there. So,
Also, if you want to keep up with Misrolled Adventures, follow us on Twitter.
No one can see you.
I thought about it. I was like, maybe you should advertise your Twitter as well. Why not?
my Twitter has 1,200 followers. The YouTube channel has 69 subscribers.
Okay.
So
We can get
Also-
no more subscribers. That's
Okay.
just it.
How about
We've
this?
reached the
Also,
pinnacle.
subscribe to our channel. It would be really helpful. And also leave a like and comment below.
It does mean every single one. I reply to every comment possible as well as answer all DMs on Twitter because I just love talking about D&D.
And make sure to ring that bell.
Oh my god.
I was
Moving
really-
on.
I was really tempted to respond to one of his things.
Moving on. Where we last left off, the group had made it back to El Terrell by traveling by airship. While they were flying, there were moments where Gopher began to feel more ill as well, though you couldn't tell behind his alcoholism. And then Rex and Ryder both regained their abilities that were taken from them. One's mentality and one's speech, against everyone else's wishes. But making it to El Terrell, they notice that everything is a lot more stressful, strenuous, and people are on edge. Traveling around, buying a few things, which was mainly the entirety of last episode.
Not just
They
that.
they relayed everything that they learned back at Waterdeep, and including a ring that may or may not have been listened through during a lot of important meetings.
I mean,
Man,
it's
Rex,
not
places.
the ocean.
So there was some talk, a lot of screaming, mainly from Vaughn.
At 10 at night.
Well, I mean, in the game it was like 3 p.m., so 4 p.m.
In a room
mean,
with a lot of crying and a lot of sadness and a lot of telling the girl to cover your eyes.
There was a lot of, not cover your eyes, it was just cover your ears, and she chose to do that. It wasn't someone else telling her to. But they learned a number of things. They learned that Quinn is
My favorite daughter.
Vaughn's granddaughter. They also learned, they theorized a lot of different information that sounded plausible. They were theorizing that the reason that they were after certain groups and families was because of a boon from Bahamut, which was then confirmed to be real by Felix's tome. This tome, when he wrote into a question, it came back answered in a vague way, but you had theorized that what that meant was that he in fact did give boons to others. And Zacchaeus' power, the power to see everyone else's when he grabs their hand or comes into physical contact, doesn't sense those with Bahamut. So unknown where they're going, what their plans
Well,
are.
he senses it, doesn't it? But he doesn't know what it is exactly.
He could sense, he sensed two feelings of anguish and regret coming from Felix's left arm and Vaughn entirely.
Wait, that was specifically only my arm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you grabbed him with the other arm, didn't feel anything.
No, when he touched you with your
Did I
band-aids
grab-
on, he didn't
I-
feel it.
You unwrapped, because you...
I don't think I ever had him grab this hand.
You did.
Did I?
Go back and you can hear us talking about how you unravel the bandages, see all the markings, but they look different than Vaughn's scales and everything.
Yeah, I thought I had him with it, and then I unbandaged it.
You did it with bandage, didn't come into contact, and then you took it off.
Yeah, I don't remember him letting him touch my other hand.
Your normal.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
And from that point, they decided to go to Zakara as they had heard a message from their old ally Goldelda from the city of Greenest, talking about Zakara. So they're currently going with Vaughn to get their 2 members initiated into the Order of the Gauntlet, and the remainder of the party is going to Alexander, so that way they can discuss about ideas or how the ship potentially works.
Well, I have a lot of ideas.
There's a lot of questions that Felix may have for this very powerful old wizard. So,
Maybe a chisel or
landing
two
gear,
for
a crane.
that's where we last left off.
So who's going with who?
I'm pretty sure
I'm
everyone's
going to
going in the
Alexander.
same direction because they have to go to Alexander's tower, because that's where the Order of the Gauntlet's initiative is down the tower instead of going up. So I'm pretty sure everyone was going that way. And Gopher's unconscious with Strawn again. So
who's going with who?
I'm going to say Alexander.
I mean, thanks, Ryder. You'll be a great help.
So,
We'll substitute you for Calvin.
Who?
since everyone's just going, he spent about 30 minutes to get from point A to point B to this front of the city. From the west side of the city to the center. Vaughn showcases his crest of Order of the Gauntlet to the individuals, and they open up the gates. When you're going inside, you can see the large spire is there, and everyone except for Ryder has not been to this side of the
That's
building.
true, yeah.
You have gone to the left. He hasn't gone to the left of the building. He's gone up the stairs and inside. You go walking towards the left of the building, heading towards the spire. You can see that there's like a small courtyard with several different stands out that they aren't selling things, but there's a lot of just talk amongst them. They don't have anything displayed. The center of the place is rather open, but they have a singular well that seems to have a bucket at the end of it that's just in pristine condition in comparison to the rest of the outer skirts of that specific district. The building itself isn't necessarily very large. It's it's tall, but it's very thin in comparison to other actual buildings. You're a bastard. No.
I told you it was Cardi.
I know. But
Quietly as possible. Sometimes you just gotta break its neck.
the only ones that went with you was Vaughn, Quinn, and her.
I thought she was staying in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're in there. They left in the room. They stayed in the room while everyone else left.
So they're not with us.
And
They're
the,
not
and the
with-
lady.
Yeah, and the lady's with her as well.
Because you said the only people who came with.
The only people that came with was Vaughn, Quinn, and this other person stayed in the inn. You can cut me off before because there was a pause there. Doesn't matter. You guys are making it to the spire. When you approach the front of it, he knocks twice, just, and there's a brief pause, a moment.
And it just breaks open.
No, there's just a small like click, and it opens up.
Crashes into it.
When it opens, you can see that there's a large staircase. That spiral staircase that in of themselves is about 30 feet wide, and it spirals upwards. Though the tower itself maybe looked about 5-10 feet wide in diameter.
Oh.
It spirals up and then spirals down. And there's these red cloths that cover up the middle portions of the stairs and like a red drape. And there's torch sconces lining the sides of it that go upwards in a spiral.
Fancy as fuck, dude.
I feel like this doesn't faze me.
Not you, because you've experienced this. This doesn't face Jacqueline either, because you've experienced the same thing. Ryder is Ryder.
I mean, I assume he would be befuddled and confused every time he walked into a
Touch.
fire.
But yeah, that's what everyone sees when you first enter. Vaughn looks to the rest of you. The door that opens, it opened by itself. There's not someone on the other end of it.
What I would expect. Probably.
Not unusual.
For those that are going to speak to Alexander, he's upstairs. Speak to an initiate. They'll take you to him. Generally, his quarters are locked and his study. For you two, Jacqueline, Ryder, we'll be going downstairs.
Is there something we should take so he knows
Your
we're
dignity.
part of here?
Um,
I mean, I have it more than you.
yes. From his like satchel, he pulls out this really large mask. It's bright pink. It's completely like down to his collarbone. It has no eyes spots in it. He hands it to you. This is a sign that you know me.
Don't you fucking...
Only my associates have something like this. So
pink.
this is yours for now
Nice.
because I need my signature downstairs.
Fabulous.
That is a really good helmet, sir.
It's something of my past. That's all it is. So, you two, let's go downstairs.
All I can think
Inside
of,
jokes, people.
all I can think of, like
I just see you handing that to him.
I feel like when Quinn goes up, she's gonna wear that helmet with pride.
It's like a fucking huge helmet, so it just kind of like dangles in place. It doesn't actually fit. Moving on. So,
Can't believe you've done this.
I've already shown this before. I don't know why you guys are surprised now. I've shown it before you guys even left. He was carrying it when you guys first met him.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay.
Anyways. Going down the
You
stairs.
did not describe it.
I did. Going down the stairs and then going up the stairs.
Going down the stairs.
When you're going down, the torch sconces get dimmer as you keep stepping further and further down. Those that are going up, you can tell that the torch sconces are remaining rather lit, but the further you go up, there's more chatter. There's more sounds of wind as well as footsteps above you. Those that are going upstairs, we'll do yours later because yours might take a little bit of time.
Oh.
So the three of you that are going upstairs, because Bina probably wouldn't have gone with you to this place. She probably would have stayed with the other two, seeing as she's probably more comfortable with a younger individual. So
that, and she has like a tiny dog, essentially.
yeah, exactly. Not tiny; it's a mastiff.
Well, I meant the
Oh, the
robotic
modrone,
thing.
the monodrone. Yeah, it sits on her shoulder. But while the three of you going up the stairs, you get to a point where it levels out, and it kind of still spirals upwards in like a slight slant. And when you round the corner, you can see that the room is expansive. It's easily about 60 feet in diameter, and there's a number of bookshelves. There's floating objects just barely next to them with a table directly underneath it that seem to have runic markings onto it. There's easily about 7 or 8 individuals in here. Some of them are robed. Others are in minor garb. They're like in leathers and things like that. But initially, when you turn the corner, the closest one to you, excuse me, I don't know how you got in here, but you cannot be up here.
Can you get Alexander? This is also kind of heavy.
It is heavy. It's like fully ceramic, so it's like
Pink.
It's easily like at least 30 pounds in your hand.
I mean, it's like got one here and one on the side.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Right. I'll go ask if he has anything that he's doing in this moment. If not, then I'll bring you up to him.
Thanks.
Feel free to mingle, but do not touch anything. Everything
is there a table I can set this on that won't cause problems?
Bridget,
Touch.
take the take the book from its stand so that way we can rest this. All right, I guess I can. And she just kind of pulls down the book that's kind of floating next to the other bookshelf. You can put it up here. When you put it up, it completely just hovers in place. It's actually kind of creepy because you put it up like this because it's like it repositions and stands upright, so the face is kind of just looking at you.
It stares at you where we walk in the room.
It's initially really disturbing. Then when you move, it doesn't move with you, so it's just hovering in place.
Can I make like a perception around the room?
Sure, make a perception check. Anybody else doing anything while this guy's going up the stairs?
I'm doing my initiation. Oh yeah, I should get my dice.
I noticed nothing.
You are enamored, except the fact that what
I feel at home.
You feel at home, but the other thing is that you're more focused on your arms just being exhausted from carrying this mask up several flights of stairs. Just cool. Give me a second.
Even though he carries a giant backpack on all the fucking time.
It's light stuff in there, though. And that's also back. This is his arms. He doesn't have upper body strength. He's using his back. He's got good leg strength.
Oh, don't say back.
I got 19.
19? Paying attention to the details that people are going into, you can tell there are about 2 people that are near another one of these desks, except the runic markings are segmented. It looks more like a Gemini symbol, so it has the one that has the tail and then the one that's opposing it having the tail as well, and it's slowly spinning on the runic symbol on the runic table. The 2 people that are there, both of them being tiefling, they have their hands out and this small like thread is kind of attached to one different half of them, and as you kind of see, the threads like intertwine between each other as the rune spins, but they don't seem to like get snagged. They just keep twirling and straightening out as they go. There's a number of people reading. The books themselves look to be magical in nature. They have markings around the binders that seem to flash every time they flip a page. And that's realistically all you're seeing in this. There's nothing else that kind of stands out to you. Zakaris, is there anything you're doing?
Just kind of awkwardly standing there.
Yeah, makes sense. After a few moments of just kind of looking around, Felix, your arms finally lessen. They're less strained. You gain a strength. No. Yeah, put your strength to 9. still negative. No. The man comes back down. Alexander is currently in his study. He has taken a break from his work. If there's anything that you're looking to do, I would recommend doing it fast. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. He's doing a lot of work on some other research.
Can you show us?
Yes, come with me.
Thank you.
And the man kind of goes up. He pulls down the hood, and you can see that he is balding, except not fully bald. It's like up to probably this section of his head, and it just completely fades back. Towards the end of it, it has like dreadlocks intertwined into the middle of it.
Mohawk.
Not a mohawk, that's just this. But anyways, going up the stairs. Again, you're going up several flights of stairs. At this point, you feel like you've climbed more stairs than there are to this tower. And after you get to the top, there's several times where you pass other doors and other floors. Some of them have weaponry. Some of them have magical items that seem to be being held by other people that are like orbs, and they kind of just flash in several colors. One of them holds up one, and it just gets super bright and fills the entirety of the room. When you make it to the top of the stairs, winded slightly from climbing this many flights of stairs, there's a large expansive door. The door itself seems to be white. It has a thin layer of black etchings into it, and once again the one man knocks on it twice, just Alexander, and the door. No one's at the door. No one's at the door, but you can see from the doorway the room isn't that large. It's about maybe a 20-foot by 20-foot room. There's a bed in the corner that looks very luxurious and comfortable, as well as a desk that has a lot of small tools against it. It has tons of different utensils, as well as spectacles. There's a lens that seems to be draped downwards, and it has a lot of just parts to it. You can see an elderly man who has easily a beard that kind of stretches down to his neck, and you can tell that it's kind of burned and singed as it's just kind of marked down here. You feel like it might have been longer at some point, but it probably has been exposed to certain elements.
He has an unusual stylist.
Yes. He is completely bald. He has several different liver marks on the top of his head. You can see that he stands in what looks to be rather durable leathers, and he has a hand out with his book, and this book seems to be widely open, and it's just flipping through pages slowly. As you can see, some of the parts just kind of just combining into different parts. Well, I would recommend doing something soon.
Thank you.
And so you three of you just enter?
Yep.
Okay. Entering the room. The remainder of the room doesn't seem to be that luxurious. Seems very meager and rather just nice and posh. So, looking at the man, he turns to you. Hello.
Oh, I also probably should grab the mask too.
Yeah, you grab the mask and you're still complaining while carrying it up.
Since you're asking the most of the question, I'll carry that then.
A lot easier for you, but still kind of heavy.
I was about to say, doesn't he also have strength?
He is not a negative than though. He's got a 10 or an 11 in strength, so it's not like super heavy, but clearly something that you don't want to necessarily carry a long time.
I thought we all had like.
No, he's the only one that has a positive.
Mm-hmm.
And Gopher, obviously.
A
but
neutral, you mean?
Sure.
Answer
questions. Zero is neither positive nor negative. So
exactly why I said neutral.
And beside the point. Yes, I was told you have something from Vaughn. What do you need from me?
Do you need, like, an inhaler or something? Are you okay?
It's the age. I've been like this for...
And Karis is flunked out of the spire.
For about...
Push him down the stairs.
3 decades now. There was a magical force that takes my breath very fast, so I'm forced to talk like this.
Oh, sorry for that. And I'm assuming you'll be a little younger.
Is the other guy?
He's still with you, but he's kind of stayed by the door, just kind of before like entering, give a bow, and then stepped in. But he's not saying anything. He's just there, kind of standing by the door.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who's thinking.
You might want. I don't know if you want to speak privately about this. We're here about the boat.
Do regard. Head downstairs. And he just gives a bow, opens the door, knocks twice, opens up, and goes downstairs. And then the door just slowly closes behind him.
I wait like a second, just to make sure.
Yep, it's pretty much silent in here, other than there's, for some reason, as he's kind of turned to face you, his book is still flipping pages, and you can see behind him the pieces are still just kind of rearranging themselves, placing into different parts, deassembling themselves, placing them into different arrangements. It's continuing to move even without his attention.
No. Okay, so Vaughn has entrusted it to us because we plan to be more dealing on the front line with our friendly dragons.
Yes, that's why it was designed.
We came to discuss adding stuff so it can land and not need an army to place it.
The purpose of it is to stay in the air. We will plan out something like that, but for the time being, I suppose that would be difficult. There is no energy consumption while it stays in the air, so all that you have to do is maintain a relative height above the ground until we can design a proper landing procedure.
And do you know like how close to the land that we have to keep it hover?
I mean, even if it's 5 feet above the ground, the ladder can drop 30 feet.
So keeping it at that relative height, it won't come into contact with the ground. And even then, if someone's on the ship, they can pull up the ladder, so that way unruly types that don't have the means to climb won't be able to reach, or they themselves can even climb higher in the air.
I had another question, because I had a feeling that was going to be the answer.
Yes.
Is there a group of people you would be okay with going and like adding a crane on the side to help with loading cargo?
Well, the docks themselves have cranes to move onto ships. However, obviously, for very apparent reasons, this can't necessarily dock in the same fashion, especially because of the dome. However, if we were to put a crane directly onto the ship, the difficulty becomes aerodynamics. The purpose of it is to be able to cut through the air. If you put too much onto the front portion or in the center to go upwards, then the difficulty becomes while it travels, it can waver from left to right. Therefore, the moment it becomes off balance, it's very unstable. For the time being, we don't have the technology to put onto it, but I'm designing a method to put a portable crane through it, that one that can retract, go into the center of it, or perhaps off to the side, so that way the crystal still will not be in harm's reach.
That's perfect, and that's the solution I was looking for.
Well, unfortunately, it's not going to be ready anytime soon.
Yeah, that's fine. We at least have the solution being made.
Very well. Is there any other questions you have? I'm quite busy.
And I'm assuming this.
Would you have someone...
What were you gonna say? Well, you both were talking, so unless yours was an out of player question.
No, it's not.
Okay, I mean you both can talk.
I'm assuming this ship operates like a normal ship. Yes.
Yes. The wheel, when you turn, will designate left to right. The ship itself only hovers approximately 300 feet above the ground. We haven't designed a way for it to specifically go upwards or down. You can only designate when it drops through a lever that's off to the side and when it goes up. You cannot decide how far or how high. So as it comes down, that's when you have to begin to pull and leave it halfway, so that way it stays hovered.
Alright.
That explains the avoiding mountains.
Yes, if we go too high, then the peaks themselves will be higher than us. So, if you go too high, then it will begin to descend very rapidly. And that's very dangerous for something like this, because then the aerodynamics from underneath it begin to push back, and that can cause it to tilt. The moment it tilts, the crystal becomes off balance, and the alignment for the gravitational force becomes unstable itself, and you could topple completely sideways.
And then so I was gonna ask, do you have someone who could make like lighter notes on this for repair purposes?
Lighter notes? In what way?
Like so, because we're gonna be out and about.
Oh.
If there's minor maintenance or stuff that needs to happen.
The best hand would be to bring it back to here for the maintenance, as I'm sure other cities do not have this kind of technology for it. So, bringing it back to outside of El Terrell, I can have my initiates, or if you have someone capable in arcane arts, they themselves can. It's very intricate. Do you have means of mechanical training themselves?
Tiny bit.
Well, over time you may become inept or adept in doing it, but at this time it may be difficult. You may want to watch others as the process begins, that way you can then learn. But in this time, is there any damages to the ship?
Not that I know of.
It's a perfect fine ship, all the way.
Okay. That's good for the heart.
I think
I
that's
just wanted in minor notes in case something comes up that we could not immediately come here for.
The sails, if they're damaged, will become difficult. You will need to repair them with very minor magic, but you need fine cloth, silk specifically. If you use unkept material, then it will be unprepared to go through the travel in the air. It will become a segment in comparison to the rest. So once that single fabric is weakened, it will begin to slightly veen off to the side. It will still be stable enough to drive, but if it becomes too unbearable amongst each side, then it will begin to turn on its own, and it'll become more difficult to pilot. Is there anything you need, other one?
Other one.
Other one.
Other
You're
one.
referring to me? No.
You seem to be.
This is all way out of my league. I am just a...
I understand. Well, as long as the crystal's in place, the three of you and whoever you're traveling with will be fine. It's very simple to pilot as long as someone who has water vessel training. Apart from that, the important purpose of it is to maintain the complexity of the rings that circle the crystal itself. If one becomes unbalanced, drops ever so slightly, the runes that bounce between the crystal and these rings may miss their mark, and if that happens, it slowly dwindles the energy in the crystal.
Good to know.
Is there anything else that you might know, or might need to know?
No,
Not that I can think of.
As long, if you say it drives us near a regular bolt, then I think I get most of the concept of how this thing works.
It's very simple. Only the repair and maintenance is the most difficult part.
When the time comes for that, we'll try to figure out the best way we can and try to bring it back.
That's most desired. Trying to bring it out to another city will probably lead to more pain on the boat's end, as they're probably going to screw up or misrepresent what is necessary for the ship itself, taking into assumption of a water vessel instead of an air vessel.
It makes sense. Something like that is way beyond anybody's intelligence.
If there is a moment where if the crystal does dwindle in power, arcane arts can recharge it using their own magic. It takes quite a lot, but the moment it reaches a certain capacity, it will begin to stabilize again. You'll know based off of the speed that the rings ascend. As they ascend slowly, if the power is completely gone, all three of the rings will fall and intertwine into a single segment on the ground. The more arcane arts that are enveloped into the crystal, they will slowly begin to go up and up until they fully encompass it once again, and then you'll have full control.
I think I understand what you mean by that.
And I just thought of something.
Yes.
Can the sails raise up to be like upright to try to disguise it? Like, say we landed in the water?
We have not tried something like that. I would not recommend landing in water. Especially as I do not believe the bottom of the boat is properly trained for water itself. Though taking on the shape of a boat, it doesn't necessarily have the foundation or the preparation underneath to retain water.
So it's just wood.
Yes.
Not treated.
Not treated properly for sea air.
I think that's all I need to know. How are you guys? Okay, I think we're done. Thank you for your time for answering our questions and learning about this.
It's important to understand what you're using, so I thank you for coming and approaching. I was not sure who was on the ship at the time. I was only informed that they were picking up a group of individuals and that a bardic man was a part of it. So I'm glad that it's within capable hands at the very least. If you would please, I have other duties to maintain.
And then he dies.
As you... I am slowly dying.
No.
So do you guys leave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope that was
How
as
do
painful
How
as
do you guys leave?
Bye.
How do you guys leave?
Knock twice on the door.
I'm gonna say knock twice on the door.
Okay, yeah. You knock twice on the door. After a moment, the door on the other side just...
Boom!
And you step forwards.
It just right into the fence and then into...
I was wanting to see what you gotta say there before I say I'm gonna knock on the door twice.
Yeah, no, you guys knock on the door and start making your way out. Where are you guys going? Are you guys just going downstairs? Are you guys leaving the spire? Or are you guys going anywhere specific in El Terrell?
Probably just all the way downstairs.
I'm gonna find a
Surely
hat
just wait for
shop.
them.
You're gonna find a hat shop? Okay, so what would you say,
Take the
Zakaris?
hat and the helmet back from you then.
Should probably just wait for them. I mean,
Correct, that's why
They're
I'm
not
going
gonna know where to
downstairs.
Yeah. So
I
the
guess-
three of you make it downstairs. They're not back yet.
I keep
And-
going now.
Yeah. You keep going down?
Yeah.
Okay. So Felix is going down the stairs. Rex, are you leaving the spire?
I guess we better wait for everybody else, so I'll just go follow.
You're following Felix?
Yeah.
Zacharias?
Are we allowed down there?
We'll find out until
Felix
we get there
turns
then.
holding the helmet. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yes, of course. I'll come with.
I'm pretty sure.
And
As
then
I can see his arm wiggling,
I-
struggling to
and
hold
when
it
they say
up.
I cause trouble.
Okay, so as you guys are making your way down, you can tell the torch sconces are getting dimmer and dimmer. Now we cut to you two.
Ah!
So as you're following Vaughn, you can tell the lights get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until it's dark. Both of you are fine in seeing in the dark, but it seems like Vaughn is also traversing the stairs fine himself. So as you're going down, eventually you just keep going, and the footsteps begin to get louder and louder, beginning to echo outwards and just kind of getting more
Ominous.
yeah, in a feeling. It's more treacherous of a feeling. As you begin to go down, you can feel the steps beneath you stop being smooth into more stone and then cobblestone path itself, and then it turns into a slant. And that's when you realize,
It's a slide.
after you keep turning and going down, there is an open expanse and there's some brief light inside. Not a lot, maybe a single or two torch sconces.
Scorched tonsils.
And you're in what looks to be a catacomb-like cave. It has etchings along the sides and an expansive room that dips into a very dark passage that you can't see. So it's essentially
Like an underground cathedral?
kind of. When you step down, there's an open passage that's about 30 feet in width in front of you, and it just kind of spirals outwards into the rest of the room. But then there's a divide, and it dips down. When it's down, you can't see beyond sight of your dark vision. And there's about a 20-foot wide passage that goes outwards into another cone-like design. And there's several markings that go out further than that, but you can't see beyond that point. All right, well, we are here now. Do you two understand what this is going to necessarily mean?
I was told nothing.
That makes sense. The oath is a formality, of course, but it is something that we hold very dear for traditional purposes. A deity that you follow will be spoken, and there will be moments where you have to retain your prowess. Not that it's going to attack at you, but you need to keep your composure. And as long as you are of the right mind and have the earnest in conditions and desires, you'll make it absolutely fine. If you're not, nothing bad will happen to you, but you just will not be accepted by the gods. Each of you needs to take one of these, and he holds out
Black flask.
yeah, drink this. No, he doesn't pull it out. What he does is he goes off to the wall. There's an armoire there. He opens it up and takes out these 3 kind of dagger-looking weapons. They don't look sharp. You can see that at the end of it, there's almost like a safety bulb, like right at the end of it, like a just perfectly encapsulating it. So
Like when you get a new pen, that little
yeah,
thing
it's literally at the end of it. It's just like there.
It's like an actual.
It's a stopper.
What?
It's a stopper.
It's a stopper. It's definitely a stopper. You can definitely see if the stopper was not there, it would probably be dangerous as a dagger. But you can see along the blade itself, there's a singular line that just kind of coalesces down it into the hilt itself, and there's an embalm at the bottom of it that seems to have like a slight dark rock into it. But you can see that it's kind of translucent. It's not 100%.
Is that a ceremonial knife with holy water at the bottom?
You don't know. He hands it to you. He hands one to each of you. When the time comes, you'll have to follow my movements. Understand? It's going to hurt just a little bit. And he kind of like places his fingers along the stopper and kind of pushes it, and you can see the stopper goes out just a little bit. It kind of like goes down the blade, and the little itty bitty portion of the dagger just kind of peeks out. And then he just lets go and it retracts back into place.
Oh.
When the time comes, that's about it. It's only going to take a very minute amount of blood. Like I said, this is a formality and tradition. If you're against this, say now, because once you begin, you won't be able to stop unless proven not worthy.
Came all his way, so I'll see you to the end.
Jacqueline says nothing. She just nods.
Then follow me, and we'll proceed. And he goes into the darker portion of the room. That's up against the 20-foot wide passage down towards the larger circle. Do you guys follow them?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just saying, as you're following...
turn back.
I take the dagger. You got a dagger.
I got a new weapon.
You got a shitty little push-button dagger. It's one of those fake daggers that you push into your hand to pretend like you stabbed yourself.
I go to Rex. You thought I stabbed you, but I didn't.
But
half the damage.
it doesn't even do that. It's like, ow, what the fuck? It's like a paper cut.
It's like a bee
What's wrong
sting.
with you? Yeah, sure.
You want to see a real dagger? This is a real dagger.
My dick.
As he steps out and you continue on, the room itself is still kind of dim. There's no external light source, but it's just relatively
How
dim.
dare you call the room stupid?
As
What
you're
was he
stepping out, the room itself still continued to expand and expand and expand. And you can see that there's easily about 4 or 5 different passages once you get to this middle circle, and those coalesce outwards into a smaller circle themselves. Where your stepping begins to be uneven, and there's spiral markings that kind of form into the etched ground itself, into the center of this circle, as well as outwards into these other portions. Each of you take your own podium, and the ritual will begin.
I go
Yeah.
to a podium.
Yeah. So, before we begin, and as he starts talking, he's talking in normal pitch, but because of the layout of the room, it echoes outwards, and it's as if he's talking directly in front of you. When the time comes, you will say your deity that you follow, but for this moment, do not fret. You will continue to follow my actions.
He's not worthy.
No. I'm just saying, this is when he says, "Speak your God, Tiamat."
Oh no!
You don't know what would happen.
Yeah, I know.
Pete Kelman just smashes into him.
All right, so gods, deities that watch and judge our actions. 2 more initiates desire to do right in this world, to do the gods' work and protect others as if their own kin. Review and watch their consent from the bottom of their souls. As a respected and faithful contributor, by blood I represent and give favor to their desire. And he punctures his hand, and his blood begins to kind of fall from it. And once it kind of hits the ground, there's this immediate flow of energy. The ground slightly lights up in this bluish tint, and the spiral coalesces around each of your spires themselves. And when it goes down, you can see the bottom of the darkness that was before. It is easily over 100 feet deep. At the bottom of it, there's more etchings, and they fade up against the walls and continue to go all around the entirety of this cave. Behind, in the center, where you're kind of facing him, you can see a figure emerge with what looks to be like a shield. It's against the wall, and it's not tangible. It's just a shape of a figure that's glowing in this blue translucent light. Repeat after my sayings in different moments. Jacqueline, repeat after me and follow my movement. I, Jacqueline Ashriver,
I, Jacqueline Ashriver,
pledge an oath of protection to those without the means to defend themselves.
pledge an oath of protection to those without the means to protect themselves, I think.
Acting as the hand
Acting as the hand
that wields a shield and sword.
A sword, okay. That wields a shield and sword.
To repel or attack those that threaten the sanctity.
To repel or attack those who threaten the sanctity.
Of the city's walls and safety.
Of the city's walls and safety.
By my god.
By my god, Corellin.
I swear and vow by blood.
I swear and vow by blood.
To follow these ideals till the day I die.
To follow these ideals till the day I die. He's dying, by the
Yep.
way.
And he punctures his hand again.
I can't do this.
That was Ryder made some
Now,
errors.
are you earnest in these words?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
She kind of has a little twinge of should I do this when he says protect because of her little thing, but
But yeah, no, you're if you're earnest in your words, that's important. The promise is made, signed by mutual blood between the new and the old. And you can see as the blood kind of drips onto the spire, this flow kind of pushes back, and you can see this slight green energy begin to coalesce around your spire and
green.
behind you. As it kind of coalesces around the passage towards the center where the blue spiraling began, you can see it fades into the same blue, so it just slowly comes into the blue. And as it goes down your spire, goes up the walls that's nearby you, you can see this figure of Corellin just kind of emerge in a green passing light just behind you.
She has no idea if this will void anything, because she just doesn't know what this is. She sees Corellin, right?
Yeah, it's like it's not like seeing Corellin, it's more just like a translucent green figure of them.
Oh, okay.
It's not like actually seeing Corellin.
Okay, so she does not do what I was going to
Okay.
do.
Ryder Hopkins, repeat after me and follow my movement. I, Ryder Hopkins,
I, Ryder Hopkins,
pledge an oath of protection
pledge an oath of protection
to those without the means to defend themselves.
to those who don't mean for protection.
Let's try again.
God.
I, Ryder Hopkins,
I, Ryder Hopkins,
pledge an oath of protection
pledge an oath of protection
to those without the means
to those without the means
to defend themselves,
to defend themselves,
acting as the hand
acting as the hand
that wields a shield or sword.
that wields a shield or a sword.
I said and.
No, it's either.
Oh.
To repel or attack
To repel or attack
those that threaten the sanctity
those that threaten the sanctity
of the city walls and safety.
of the city walls and safety.
By my god,
By my god, Drem,
I swear and vow by blood
I swear and vow by blood
to follow these ideals
to follow these ideals
till the day I die.
till the day I die.
And he punctures his hand again. All right. Are you earnest?
Yes.
Okay. The promise is made, signed by mutual blood between the new and old. And as it kind of coalesces onto the ground, the energy begins to fade from the blue and pushes back like it did with Jacqueline. Except that this one is, once again, a slight green. And it goes up against it and forms into the center spiral like it did before. Behind you, in the same similar fashion, you can see the image of Drem, a lot smaller than all the other deities that are apparently emerging. But what follows behind him is this other like void that begins to kind of starry like design begin to form against the wall. And in that moment, Vaughn clenches his fist, puts the dagger to his side, and you can feel this extreme amount of air just lift up. You can feel your hair completely lift beyond your neck and just completely upwards, as if you were standing in a vacuum space. After it descends, the lights begin to fade, and he looks to both of you. Excellent work. We are ready. And in that moment,
Roll for initiative.
No.
Pink help.
Step forwards. And as you kind of get into the center, stand where I stood, one at a time, and proclaim where you would like to emblazon the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Ladies
This can
first.
be a gauntlet. This can be a helm. It will forge it in space itself. So you can either have it become new or a part of you.
I forget. Does the scabbard that I put Moonshadow in, does it, when I take Moonshadow out, does it have, it's a thing?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, okay. It's just like Moonshadow kind of disappears into
Yeah,
it.
it's like
Okay.
it's just a flat sheath, so it's odd, or a scabbard. It's just odd that a sickle with its curved edge would be able to fit in it, but it does. By putting it in, it just kind of just fades directly into it.
Perfect.
So do you step first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just take off. I take Moonshadow out,
Okay.
and I guess I place the scabbard on.
Okay. When you kind of hold it out, it lightens, and when you kind of pull back, you can see it just hovers in place. It begins to right itself, and you can see on the side of it this symbol, the same symbol that Vaughn had on his gauntlet, just kind of burns into it and just emerges outwards from the metal, just, and it tilts itself back to you and just kind of goes back to your hand.
And then
So it could be anything, correct?
Anything.
my forehead.
Well, he's also wearing the tiara.
Tiara.
I mean, you
Yeah.
are.
That's me.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't have.
I thought the joke was.
I'm gonna take out my lyre
Mm-hmm.
and use that.
Okay. When you kind of put out the lyre, it begins to lighten from your hands. You let it go, and it begins to like play a melodic music just beforehand. And you can see right at the crest of the lyre itself, you can see the symbol just form outwards of it, and it goes back to your hands.
That'd be really cool if it could do a thing where it like put a weird spell on it, so whenever you like played a melody, it just showed the symbol.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know.
Welcome to D&D.
Fucking Len, do your forehead, do it.
I like my tongue, please.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like you could be like FMA gluttony.
It'd be,
Oh my God.
It'd be like, state your business.
Yeah, I just go.
Anyways, Vaughn approaches you two after you initiated this ritual, and the fading light just kind of fully diminishes by this point. Welcome to the Order of the Gauntlet, you two. Seems you both were fully accepted. Excellent work. With some problems, but it's understandable. It is very long and traditional.
I look away. Oh, yeah.
He hasn't practiced common.
It is odd that you, being of your nature and stature,
You're talking about
Power.
the person who's so loud doesn't know how to speak.
that and also someone who is so designed in speech, having issues with repeating speech.
Remember,
I'm
he
more of
couldn't-
It's
a-
just a mystery to all of us.
I am more of an improv than a follower. If you
Also,
understand.
remember, he couldn't speak.
You're not there.
Saved.
So, as you guys have been doing this, time has easily passed rapidly because it's been so long standing with the flowing of air as well as the slow lighting that kind of coalesced around the room. Those that were going down the stairs, the lights began to get dim and dim and dim until they're fully bright.
All of a
And you
sudden,
just keep going down the stairs.
they fucked up.
Okay, what's going on and what do you do?
You guys have easily been traveling downstairs for 15 minutes.
Infinite looping stairs.
Damn it, Bowser!
Felix, apparently you know about what's going on.
Anyways, continue.
So Felix, I'm assuming you were. I know you know about these stairs and stuff.
Smell it.
What are you guys doing?
And I know these are not normal stairs, so I'm assuming you know
No,
what about these.
really?
Yeah, I know they're not normal stairs, but I don't know what kind spell or the fuck is this.
No, I assume there's a secondary spell that doesn't allow us fucking downstairs. God damn it.
So you don't know how this thing works. So basically we're lost.
No, we just start walking back up. We'll get to the door.
backwards.
Sorry, start going up the stairs?
Infinite.
Are you okay? You're following them.
Oh,
So
Immediately back at the door.
as you guys are going up the stairs,
Can I have a thought of thinking of outside while we're going
sure.
upstairs?
While you're going up the stairs, you can tell that the extreme bright lights that were just kind of emanating off the stairs, or off the sconces that were on the stairs, as you immediately turn around and start going up, they start to immediately dim and then get brighter as you start making up. And rather than 15 minutes to go back up where you were, it easily took maybe about 30 seconds.
I stopped as soon as we got the door. Well, the spell's here.
I was gonna be like, yeah, they turn around and go back up the stairs, and turns out Zacchaeus is already halfway up the stairs.
They turn around and all of a sudden they're outside. So what the fuck? How did we get here?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you guys are just waiting at the door this time, or are you guys waiting outside?
I'm waiting at the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try again.
I'm gonna get it this time. Let me do the
Throw the helmet down.
long jump into the stairs.
You don't have to. I took that away from you.
Anyways,
I saw the
after some
Yeah,
time
but-
downstairs and just wearing the emblazoned symbol, it's as if it's fully mesh with wherever it was placed. It's got the same curvature as well as the color and texture of whatever it was used in itself. However, you can see that the small gemstone that kind of pops out with its with the slight fist that's there, it comes out like it does with Vaughn's.
Oh.
And you can kind of put it back in, and it kind of like seals itself. It spins slightly and just goes. So, is there anything else that you wanted to do down here or talk about, or are you going up the stairs with Vaughn?
And there are no secrets we gotta keep from anyone, so let's just go upstairs.
Yeah, I guess not.
Well, the Order of the Gauntlet is a very outward spoken group. That's why it's so open outwards for emblazoned symbols like mine. Dorna is one of the only few who I know who has a bracer that has it, and that one she keeps hidden underneath one of her other gauntlets.
I honestly thought you were gonna say Dorna's the only one he knows that has it like in her skin.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say
Like-
too.
Oh no, we do have one, but
That's metal, dude.
it's Omthar.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, don't say that now.
Onthar?
Not
Escobar.
Escobert.
Oh, Escobar, yeah, right.
Man,
I forgot about him.
Escobert was a shield.
Oh, yeah, the kite shield.
Yeah.
The one we wanted, but then just got disintegrated.
It didn't get disintegrated, but I mean it became rusted, and the only thing that was left like perfect was the Order of the Gauntlet's emblazoned symbol. So the shield itself was worthless. The symbol was still there. Anyways, so going up the stairs takes about a few minutes. No, it takes time to go up the stairs because it has to get from the darkness. It has to get dim, very dim, then brighter and brighter. So it still takes you easily about 10 minutes. However, they've been fucking around as well. So as
we didn't know that.
No, as you guys are making it up towards the door, you actually see them.
Oh, hi guys.
Basically, they were still making it up before you guys finished. So when they were going down, you guys were going up. In translocational space, you passed them without their knowledge.
So did we get up there before them?
Yes. So you guys are standing at the door,
Where are they?
and then shortly after, they show up downstairs.
Oh, you guys were downstairs?
You see, because I didn't go into like what happens up as you guys went back up, but when the three of you go back up the stairs, you can see the door, and then you can also see them as well. Basically, you went down to look for them, turned around, gave up, went up the stairs after about a minute and 30 seconds. You found the door with them standing at it.
Fucking wizard towers.
I'm assuming everything went
Fucking
okay.
multi-transal space.
You can easily see
Time.
the emblazoned symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet on the scabbard, as well as the lyre.
Yeah, everything went well.
Congrats.
Here's your training weight back.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Thank you. And
He
points
just,
it-
he just lives up with one hand. Just
Oh, he does. He easily picks it up with like his hand. He cups it like a puppeteer's
no, he just
head.
grabs it with the pinky.
No, not a pinky. Not that swole yet.
I mean the
That's
luckiest.
next.
Like it's stronger. But
Can't wait to go back.
so did you gather everything that you needed from Alexander?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. Like I said before, everything that happened in that room, I apologize. It got out of hand, and the anger got to me. Apart from this, that's what the altar effects are. But there's no speaking of what happened.
Yeah, like you said, what happens in that room stays in that room.
Good. If you need me, I will be back there. Zakaris, you have your armor to come pick up. I'm sure Quinn has probably finished it by this point.
That's so cute. I love her already.
He's stunned.
Zakaris, do you hear any of that?
No.
Oh.
So Zakaris, as he kind of talks to Zakaris, you guys can see his brain is kind of fried by the level of
By the
complexity of this place. He looks like 20 pounds lighter. No.
Man, only 20?
20 pounds for going upstairs? That's a lot of fucking weight loss. People try to lose weight for weeks and they lose maybe 5. But
Oh, gain 2.
some people, and it's unfortunate because people work super hard, getting sidetracked. You kind of snap back into reality and you hear Vaughn talking about how Quinn has probably finished your armor for you.
Thanks.
Whenever you're ready to come pick it up, you'll be able to find us there.
I don't think a wizard tower would break a druid as bad as this one.
Look, his intelligence ain't very high.
That's a fair point.
And also, it's a wizard tower. It's not like it's nature. This isn't made by a tree.
I mean,
mean-
this is the furthest from nature as fucking possible.
What?
The only reason why Rex is so unfazed is because he was an Eldritch Knight for a little bit.
Oh, hey, I'm ready.
That's still beside the point.
He used magic missile once.
Once.
Against a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Vaughn exits the room, he knocks the door twice, and it opens up from the outside, and he steps out. Do you guys follow and do your own business, or are you hanging out in the tower for some odd reason?
I'm leaving.
I'm gonna go
Going
get a
back
room.
downstairs.
I'm gonna find a
Find a new
hat shop.
hotel room.
Do you want to go back downstairs?
No.
So you go to find a hat shop. Where are you going?
I'm going to the library,
The Grand Library?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's everyone else
Library.
going?
I'm going wherever no one else is going.
Okay, where's
I'm going
that?
with the writer.
Okay, so
I'm specifically following him.
Okay, so Felix goes with Jacqueline.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to be like, we're just all gonna split up again.
Because it's my nightmare,
Yeah,
Felterel. Anyways, so you're going to the Grand Library. Zakaris is following him. You're going to a hat shop. Where are you two going? Are you following either of these groups, or are you going off on your own?
I'm gonna go look for a hat. I don't know why I would need one, but whatever.
And you just go and look for general goods. You can get new clothes, hair dye,
Yeah, with the
paint.
pomade.
hair
stuff.
dye. Ooh, girl, gotta get you into style.
Oh, there's all kinds of
You
cosmetic
fucked that up
stuff.
3 times.
Right?
Look, I'm surprised you even only fucked up the one sentence. during
Right?
those.
I
I slowed it down for you.
Thank you.
I knew Jake had an issue for the very beginning because that one was the longest sentence.
Yeah, I screwed up that one. But did
I
I
was
actually
gonna-
screw it up?
There was one word that you missed.
I was gonna come up to you and just read over the paper with you. If
No, I took a
anything-
picture of it. Anyways, so
I'm gonna go with them.
you're going to the Grand Library as well?
Might as well.
Okay, so as you guys
I
are,
don't know this town.
I don't know anything.
I
So
don't
you
even
two
know they're
leave
going a
to
library.
go over to the hat shop. You go over towards the Market District.
Do we? No, that was in Waterdeep, wasn't it? Where we tried to steal a hat.
No, that was
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's
That's
Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
That was Baldur's
And
Gate because
didn't
Jacqueline
we
threw a
steal-
fucking dagger into it, and then you guys did steal a hat.
No, she threw
What
one of her
happened to
cards.
that?
We put it on and the guy realized it was his hat.
Yeah, you guys just put it on and tried to persuade him that it wasn't his hat. And he's like, that's my hat. You guys were 20 feet from him and you just put on the hat. Like,
Didn't we also end up with
tried to
that
persuade him that it
instead of
wasn't his
dagger
hat.
throw?
no, because that was what distracted him enough to grab the hat. And that's what made him put it on. I'm pretty sure you guys just had to give the hat back and then nothing happened.
I mean, yeah.
Doesn't matter with a fucking hat. You guys
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
lost it in the swamp anyways if anything happened to it.
Look, it would have kept me warm in the rain.
Wasn't that big of a hat, but
What if I'm sitting in the rain?
so as you guys are going to the market district, it's much faster for them to go to the Grand Library. So Felix, not knowing anything about the city, and Ryder being
I've been there before.
being in there. Zakaris, I don't think you've been in. No, Zakaris has been inside here too, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Have I?
I know, if I remember, it's only been me and Rex.
You, Rex, and Jacqueline, because
When I go to the library?
you went.
Didn't you go to? Is it next to the Noble District?
It's not next to. It's also next to the Noble District, but it's next to the Emerald Enclave, which all three of you had tried in.
Oh.
So you guys had all gone to the library
Right.
as well because
Oh,
you
you're
went
talking
to
about
you
the
went to try to
library thing,
find information on Baldur's Gate and learn about like anything about the cult that you could at the time. That's when you found her putting back books at the time that Rex had taken out, but just left on a table. Chose to just leave them there, and be like, "All right, I'm leaving."
I thought
Yeah,
she did. I thought you just cleaned out the shelf. I was like,
You,
"Alright,
but you
took
grabbed
some."
them, but you didn't take them out of you didn't check them out. You just left them on a table
Yeah,
afterwards out
I
of
left them-
embarrassment. So she had to put them back. Doesn't matter.
You monster!
So
It's not-
Zakaris and Felix. Zakaris and Felix. This is a new place for you two. As you go inside,
Oh no.
the room is expansive and there's a number of people. It's very luxurious. The ground itself has these white tile marks that have kind of this embroidered symbol that kind of coalesces around it. It's of bluish pattern that kind of goes under each tile. There's a number of busying amounts of people here, so it's kind of quick to lose yourself. But it's kind of sticking close to Ryder. He just turns left after all the chaos, and inside the Grand Library is rows of bookshelves.
We will never see Felix again.
You can see
You
up.
need a new Felix.
You can hear. So let me paint a picture. So there's about 7 or 8 different tables that are on the base level, and there's a number of students that seem to be having stacks of books. Some of them have tools out that are looking at papers, kind of flipping through them. There's a centralized encircled area with a woman that's standing there. She has glasses kind of pressed up to a bridge of her nose, and there's a small child, kind of like a little bit younger than her, not super young, but she's probably about 20. He might be like about 17 or so. And they're both human. And when you kind of go inside, Felix is enamored. There's rows of bookshelves against the walls. There's different sectioned bookshelves as well that go in between on the base level. There's stairs that go upwards into a secondary entire wall of bookshelves that just go along the base. You can hear music that seems to be playing from there's like an alcove. You can hear music being to play from in there, but there's a glass that's kind of trying to muffle it. And that's what the two of you see. Ryder, you've been here before, so
Yes.
you're not.
You're gonna need
Zakaris' brain breaks again.
You're gonna need to buy a new Felix.
Okay,
It's 100 gold for every level.
100 gold per level. All right, well,
Good book.
good thing the DM's got all the money. So,
You can even pick his classes this time.
oh, sweet. 6 levels into commoner.
Just as Felix is just like looking around, and you just hear from behind him.
So Felix, what are you gonna? I turn around. He's already gone.
Yeah.
I've somehow read an entire row.
So, where's everyone going?
Deep into a book, apparently.
So I did this telepathically to Lynn already, but I just tell him follow me and make sure no one's around.
Okay. Felix,
Alright.
what are you doing in this? What would Felix do inside of the
I
Grand
already
Library?
lost him. Oh,
No,
didn't I
he
have
just
to?
gets bored and
On the
leaves.
ground.
I just realized.
He just leaves.
Didn't I have to show the people at the front my emblem to make sure I could get it?
Because it's in the same area. It's still in the same enclosed space. The Noble District is to the left of the main castle gate, so you already went through that.
Oh, okay.
Like say these 3 squares.
Yeah, it's
the
like the
Noble District.
middle one's the castle.
Here's the gate. You were here. Now you're here.
Yeah,
Oh,
You didn't go out.
basically. So,
Felix just walks in. Seen better.
I've seen better.
Hey,
I
why
mean, he has
were you
been to the archive, but I mean, this is a lot of books.
They're all mine.
So, Felix, where are you
Pull out a big
going?
hole.
What? Do you start to do that?
I don't have
Oh,
one.
oh yeah, that's right. You have the pocket change. So where are you going? Because those two apparently go off on their own.
I mean, I thought we lost him first.
He just
Well,
starts
yeah.
climbing a bookshelf.
So what would fast-paced Felix be doing at this point?
Finding arcane.
Finding arcane. So you just go searching the rows.
Probably.
Okay. So as you start to search the rows, make an investigation check.
All you
It's
find,
a very high number.
strangely enough, all
I
you
got
find
a
is a
base-
monster book that tries to
Base
eat
16.
you.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
17.
Book me-
Base 17. That's even better.
You found everything.
I mean, it's possible.
1 page.
21.
21. So immediately you're just like, there. And you dash over.
Do I like push through?
There's
the
like a
carrots
table, and you just like leap over it with extreme agility for Felix. Just, I want that.
No, you like.
You slide across the
do I-
table, knocking some
do I-
people's books aside, and you just dash over,
Do I push,
slam into the wall.
Do I somehow catch up to the carrots?
Well, they go to the other side of the room.
But
Yes, as they're kind of like walking, you're just, mine. And you dive over tables to get over to the corner, and you just like slam into the thing. You come to a screeching halt, open the first book. Yes.
He got multiple books, and then sits down, puts them down, starts reading one by one.
So you are,
I'm reading them all at once.
yeah. So it's just a bunch of books, but yeah, you are definitely in the arcane section. Is there anything you're specifically looking for, or are you just being Felix and going
Felix.
full blown reading arcane?
I'm looking for anything to do for my research.
Anything for research? Okay.
So he's reading everything.
Yeah. Okay. So make an investigation check again.
Nothing.
Nothing.
10.
10. A lot of these books are common. There are some that are very confusing that seem to be in several different languages. There's symbolism that are in between each portions. They talk about the old ages of the arts, things like that. With further research on this, you might be able to learn a few things about it because it does delve into other planes as well as materials, and that might be of interest to you considering that you know that the metal from this object has nothing to do with this plane. So you take that one. So then you go to the counter.
So I'm supposed to be sitting there reading.
Oh, you're just going to sit there reading it? Okay. So now we'll go over to Zacharis
I'm
and...
going to read as many
Ryder.
books
Yes.
as possible till I leave.
Okay. Gotcha. So where are you two
I have a
going?
bunch of props.
Well, you already know where I'm going.
Yeah, I do, but... So you go over to So Zacharis, following Ryder, you see him go towards books. Something that you're not necessarily fond of him going towards, considering his repertoire with books and writing. But he goes up to a bookshelf, and
Well, I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to.
I know. But so you see him just like standing in front of a bookshelf.
I turn and I do telepathically. Look around. Is there anyone around?
I'll make a perception check.
Okay, make a perception check. You both can.
Okay, yeah. All right.
There's everybody around.
It's a busy place.
Somehow you are in the busiest
Oh God.
part.
8.
8. You look pretty clear.
You see asparagus.
You might not even see him.
Asparagus? But I
Zacharis,
can
what'd you
sense
roll?
him.
21.
Damn
You
it!
can tell
You see me
that
around the corner.
no, you can tell that there's a lot of people. They don't necessarily look in your general direction, though. They seem to be nose pressed to books. You can see Felix has ripped a single book out of a bookshelf and has just slammed it down onto a table that he has skidded over. Some of the people that are there pick up their books and leave, but he's just like face down looking at this book.
Done. Next book.
But you seem to be relatively clear. There's nobody looking in your general direction.
Everything seems fine. There's no one paying attention to it.
That's what I see too.
You don't see anyone.
I mean, exactly. Wait, who said that? Okay.
Who is speaking to my mind?
You're not even in a library anymore.
That would be funny. But anyways,
I tell asparagus, I'll be right back. Make sure no one comes around here. And I just walk through.
so when you walk through Zacharis, you see him as he's like, wait here. He slams into the bookshelf, face first. Just. Make an intelligence check.
Right.
Is it the wrong
Do you
bookshelf?
remember? Do you remember what you might need to do? Because you did something to get into it the first time.
I did, didn't I?
He was asking me about it earlier.
Oh, thank God. Intelligence you said?
Yeah, intelligence check.
Yeah, 18.
When you slam into it, there's that realization as you're kind of stunned, like, why didn't this work? Oh, right. And you whisper your bardic inspiration into this door, and then Zacchaeus, you see him fall face first through it.
Shake my head and walk away.
And walk away. Okay. So, Ryder, after colliding with it, falling forwards, kind of catching yourself, you pick yourself up, and you remember this place very well. The stone structure that kind of goes down slightly into a small slant. It's very wheelchair accessible.
Do we have wheelchairs in this world?
Yeah! Kinda. But
There's the wheels.
anyways, the stone masonry is very sleek. It doesn't have a design necessarily. It's just a passage, and it goes down into the flatter portion of the room. When you go down, the blue torch sconces that are there are along the 4 pillars that they were before, so it's in each individual portion facing all 4 directions. You can see the runic carpet that's or rug that's in the very center, and you can see across from you is the robed figure before.
I have returned.
I see that.
And hear it.
Is something else different? I'm feeling something like, I don't know.
A heist, maybe.
No, it's...
You're more evil than I thought.
No. This is me, genuinely. I don't remember the fucking word. You seem conflicted by something.
Yes, I made a promise to a certain deity that I was going to do something, but now I'm not holding my end to that bargain anymore, and I kind of don't want that power anymore, if you know what I mean.
That is something that I'm not very familiar with. Being of robotic nature, the two of us, it's very easy to rewrite things of our nature, but not things of others, especially that of a powerful deity. But that's not where I'm feeling this conflict. This conflict is something of your choice, of recent, maybe a few months ago, before making it to El Terrell.
Yes, and the other thing, yes. Didn't I technically make a promise to...
You didn't make a promise.
Well, no, yeah, I just got power from Corellin, didn't I, for that time?
So basically how it worked was you spoke to Corellin,
yeah,
and you were tasked at the first to find out and learn more about Corellin's culture.
Right.
And
sorry.
You learned about enough that she bestowed upon you the gift that allowed you to become to be wise enough to become a cleric.
Yes.
By giving you a single silver thread of hair.
Well, I guess it would be more easier if I could show you. And I take out the long piece of hair, yeah.
It's colored like yours.
Yeah, I know.
Because, well, no, not silver. It's colored like yours.
Yes.
Because after becoming a patron of Drem, it became flush with your hair.
Yes.
You just pull out a piece.
Yeah, you're holding a single thread of your hair.
A long piece of hair, isn't it?
No, it's just the same length of your hair.
Oh, okay, never mind that. That's that.
You basically the same thing and be like, I'm gonna show you something.
Here's my hair.
I'm now bald.
This is the exact hair.
Okay.
Anyways, continuing.
I've been bestowed a power of wisdom, but I really don't have use for it anymore. So
you wish to...
Like you said, rewrite my...
This I can do in comparison to what you had asked before. I don't know a lot about Tiamat, but I know that she's far more powerful than my range.
So, I guess information gets around for you, huh?
It does. After all, we are the College of Whispers. Words do travel very fast.
Like wildfire, you might say.
Like Tiamat fire. But, this will still be taxing on your psyche. As you were before, it was much more simple to rewrite something that you were accustomed to. This would be removing a part of you that makes it more difficult. I will do this, but know that I'm not responsible for what happens.
Let me get ready first then.
You'll need to stand in the center regardless.
I start taking off my armor, everything.
Are you
And
naked?
No,
What? There's naked?
I'm putting on my common clothes
Okay.
and just taking off the armor, taking off my weapons, just getting a comfortable feel. So I'm ready for anything when it just.
Okay.
Bah!
Yeah. So, you kind of like take off your things, get on your knees, and just like kind of
Unfortunately, 'cause
sit.
You took off your armor. Your DC's now long enough. You die.
he
finger of death.
He grabs my rapier and stabs me.
Good. He whispers into it to do more damage to you too. No. Okay. As you get into a position of comfort, you get onto the ground, you sit on the back of your knees, and you just kind of position yourself in comfort. You see him stand at the base of the rug like he had done before. And in that moment,
That's where we finish my
3 more
rapier.
figures of him
God.
begin to step outwards from the pillars, and they all stand in equal direction away from you from the center.
Oh wait, no one in.
Nobody knows about this because we did this because
Online,
you missed because you missed the session. I was like, all right, well, this still needs to happen.
Yeah.
So in that moment, they all start to talk at the same time,
Vicious mockery.
and this voice begins to like rush into you. You don't need to make a vicious mockery.
Okay. Good.
You don't need to make 10 checks.
Coffee. It's just
but-
bean soup.
You do need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Oh, okay. 16.
16? Okay, as it's like pounding and pounding, you can feel the veins in your neck starting to like course upwards, and this vein kind of bursts from your head, and you fall unconscious. In your consciousness, you kind of open your eyes, and you're in the same vicinity that you've seen before with Drem, and he kind of just emerges from the wall.
Of course.
This is odd. What is it that you're here for?
Well, I'm here to get rid of. I'm here to get rid of my. Guess you could say my.
Holy essence.
My wisdom.
I don't know what I'm gonna say. Yeah. Yes and no.
Well, you do what you want. I'm not one to say yes or no. You'll still, if you wanted to, be a patron of mine. You'll still have my boon from that lets you sleep. The best gift that some can get. This is going to change you.
I understand that. I am willing to go through with this, and well, hopefully you will still keep me. I guess.
Well, yes, whether you're a cleric or not does not mean any difference to me. As long as you're sleeping and enjoying your sleep, as well as spreading the word of enjoying sleep, then I have no problems or qualms.
Oh man, I've been enjoying it a lot lately. It's been amazing. You know how it feels?
This guy's a DD.
I don't, surprisingly.
This guy's the DD everyone wants. Just let him sleep.
Dude, I would be a patron of this god easily. I get an easy 8 hours of sleep. You fucking hit the bed, boom,
Yeah.
solid.
And anywhere too.
Yeah, I'd sleep in my chairs. No,
And
but,
oh man, I feel refreshed.
but as you kind of say these words, he gives a nod. Well, as long as you are still enjoying what I've given you, and we still converse here and then this is something that I can assist with. And he holds out a finger, and you can see the thread from your hair just kind of like lift outwards, and you see the color fade from it. And in that moment, he just kind of like pulls his fingers back, and it just yanks out. You suffer.
How much health do you got?
I don't know.
That's a lot of dice. That's a lot of dice.
You take 10 points of psychic damage,
Oh, my hair.
and your wisdom score is dropped by 2.
Oh god, I'm retarded.
Wisdom, not intelligence.
So basically, because your wisdom I think is an 11,
Yeah.
so it's down to 9.
Oh,
That
boy.
affects all of your ability scores, the saving throw, and
So yeah, you'll have to go through your sheet and edit those because that's going to affect like your perception and things like that.
Yes.
But when it's ripped from you, that psychic pain is there. The reason it's there is this flooding of sound, and it's the same speech that one man had. It's just consistently going through and through your head, and you're seeing images of a past you making a pact with Corellin, sitting down meditating after sniffing some drugs, and in that moment there's like a recollection where you feel like you're able to move as that writer, and he just kind of looks at you and gives a nod, and in that moment you come into consciousness. The whole room just fades briefly, and you're standing there with the 4 individuals now. The 3 of them just kind of walk behind the pillars, and the one that's there, he steps forwards onto the rug and helps you up as you stand.
Ouch. Oh. My head hurts.
Do you say I'm retarded? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not funny.
There's a small leak of silver blood.
Do you understand me?
As he picks you up, you're definitely different.
Am I?
Is there a single just strip of
This is the
blood?
blood is coming down my head with some blood
It's slightly
getting
silver.
Blood just pouring out of your ears. But it seems to have worked. You definitely feel different to me. It's as if your capabilities are different. Something more utility and beneficial, or efficient even. Some would say, for possible character sheets. Out in the difference.
This guy's like the master of breaking the fourth wall.
You just met Deadpool.
Yeah, you just
You still can't see his face because he still has the mask on.
It could be Deadpool.
And he still has the robe.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you need?
Actually, since I'm here,
Why does this guy sound like Drum?
Surprise.
if it's possible, can I get some information? Since,
About what?
well,
Wisdom, I'd like to be a cleric.
once again.
Yeah, now. Funny enough, nothing would really change. Still only would have 1 spell.
I would like to know more about Tiamat, if anything.
I don't know much, but I know that her words are very wicked. She...
So you knew about the curse that was bestowed on me not so long ago.
What's this curse?
Well, she spoke to us, gave us a curse, and I was able to speak for a week.
Who is this us?
Well, I'm pretty sure he knows us. I'm pretty sure he knows.
Word gets around.
Yeah. I was able to speak for a while, and my companion of mine lost a little bit of his mind.
You're saying this is a curse from Tiamat.
Yes, but we were able to shake it off after a week.
I think that you may want to leave this room.
Okay. I was going to ask one question. What was it?
I think it would be best if you left now.
Oh.
There's a dragon come out behind the pillar instead of...
I grabbed my stuff.
Okay, as you kind of like pick up the armor, it's way heavier for you. It's something that you're not comfortable with, and...
I put it in my bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, so now statistic-wise,
Yeah.
you're now a full bard and not a cleric, which means that your proficiency in shields, medium armor, and yeah, that's it, is gone.
Doesn't he only have leather armor? Because we gave his...
No, he was
medium
wearing
armor.
Mariner's armor.
But we gave that to Gopher.
No.
No, we didn't. We gave the adamantine, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I kept the
actually.
man.
I thought he got that one.
Regardless, we'll figure it out. But well, look in your folders. You guys should still have the items with you.
I don't have my cape.
I know. I didn't make a card for that.
It's not the important one. We just need the...
I don't
Yeah,
have that
whichever one
card.
has the
I
card.
don't have that card.
I know. I don't.
Yeah,
there's
so I
no card for
Mariner's
the club.
armor in here.
Yeah, he's still wearing the Mariner's armor. But yeah, because I think isn't Gopher wearing the adamantine armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sure is. Because he can't.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the armor I got from.
Yeah, he's wearing the mithril armor.
That's right.
Yeah. So, as a result, you cannot wear the mariner's armor, being medium armor.
Yeah.
You also can't use a shield.
I mean,
I'm just saying for purposes. But once you rest, you'll have the full capabilities of a 6th level bard.
okay.
You're as squishy as Felix now, if not more.
Yeah, there was actually one with
No, because the clerics use the same health, so as bards.
Well, it says, wouldn't his DC drop?
For what?
Because he can no longer wear the medium armor.
Oh yeah, his DC will drop, but not his health.
You mean his AC?
Same thing.
Okay, I can't remember. Whatever.
Basically, he's pushing you out.
Yeah. Okay.
He's forcing you to leave.
All right.
Without
You can't
actually
bring
throwing
curses.
Oh,
No, he
thank
throws
you.
them.
I guess.
I
And
don't
I-
recommend
throws
coming
them
back until you resolve that.
Yes, of course.
I don't feel safe with you in my company.
I won't be back until then.
Very well.
And I go through.
Okay. As you're beginning to leave, you can tell that there's no figures behind the pillars. Zacchaeus, were you just standing by the bookshelf this entire time? No, you left. Where were you going?
Go sit with Felix.
Okay.
How
So you
many
can see.
books have I gotten through?
Well, this is when Zacchaeus. This is like right after you got the book and then slammed it down, and Ryder ran through the bookshelf. So you, as you're reading, you don't even see Zacchaeus sit down. You're just staring at this book. You can see Felix is heavily focused on this book.
Go grab a book and do it.
I don't say anything. I don't grab a book. I just sit there and watch him go insane.
You can tell based off of just looking at what he's reading. Yeah, this is way out of your price range. It's talking about. Well, what languages do you know? Probably not a lot.
Common, Helvish,
Elvish?
Not Elvish. Tiefling.
Tiflandian.
Infernal.
Yeah, Infernal. So just common and Infernal.
And Druidic, if there happens to be anything in Druidic.
In an arcane book, probably not.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you can't read any of this
Strange.
either. And yeah, Felix. So you're just going through this book, and you're not.
That's an odd presence.
It's definitely there's the table definitely does like get a little bit of heft after a few moments, but you're still flipping through, and you're not finding anything. If you think that if possible, getting more information based off this book is possible, you just have to be able to understand it and understand what's going on with it.
Is there anything Sylvan in it?
Not in Sylvan.
Damn it.
Also not really arcane. In certain regards. But
It's a book on the multiverse. I would assume there would be some
That's
on
true.
the Feywild.
that's true. There's talk of certain specific creatures that are from the Fae tend to have some arcane prowess. A lot of it is not arcane in nature, but they are chaotic in nature. So the magic itself is able to coexist alongside with other magics and might ripple into their possibilities.
Like my friendly companion I have yet to summon.
Yes. So
Friendly come what now?
yeah,
Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Although I need to do that.
yeah. Anyways, so you two, now that you guys are looking for hats,
Completely forgot that
Yeah.
we're just off
so
on
making
our
it into the market district.
own. For no reason.
When you're heading in, everything is bustling. People are still stressed out, but you can tell that people that are in this certain area of the city seem to be more worried about their coin than actually worried about other things. Their distraction is money. So, you guys are looking for a hat shop or looking for anything else?
Came looking for a hat so I'm gonna look for a hat.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I'm just happy to be here.
I want a hat.
You get kidnapped out of nowhere by a dragon.
God, I don't even have the whip anymore.
18.
18, he's got the whip.
I know. So it's him.
As you're looking around, you can see a number of people aren't going to a specific store. It doesn't look the best. It has a sign that's kind of off of its hinges. It's also very messily written on the top, and you can see it says just Ethan's Hats.
Is it owned by a mouse?
Is it owned by a half god or half
Stardew
orc?
Valley reference.
Oh, ha. No, it's not a mouse. That's funny though. I didn't even think about it. But you can see that people are avoiding it. But I mean, it looks like a
You
hat
actually
shop.
missed my joke.
I did miss your joke. What did you say?
I said, is it owned by a half orc?
What the fuck is that from?
The chit chat.
They're not half orcs.
That was the joke. Like it's one of their huffs.
Oh. No, I didn't even hear
You're
that.
stupid.
And I also didn't think it was funny. So, do you guys enter this hat shop, or do you guys go looking for somewhere else?
This is very questionable.
You can see some cloth inside, and it actually looks very nice. The cloth itself that's of the hats that are kind of on display out front through the glass, it looks very decorative. They have variants of colors and designs. Looks quite expansive on the inside as well. Just that the outside kind of looks like it sucks.
The outside kind of looks like it sucks.
So, Jacqueline, you want to give it a shot?
I mean, you're looking for a hat. I'm just not going to a boring old library.
With your intelligence? How dare I go into a library?
Although I did have the thought of like maybe Jacqueline could have went and looked for like a book in Dwarvish script just to be like, I can read this.
Easily enough.
Walk in.
Okay, when you walk in, you can see dude he seems to have been probably putting on clothes the wrong way. He has his shirt on backwards. His pants seem to have a hole in the knee, and his shoe has a singular little like hole in it that his toe kind of pops out from. And he looks at you with like this kind of disheveled beard and just like gross greased back hair.
So you.
Disadvantage for the night, sir.
You'll be needing
Man, I was about, Jacqueline was about to just call that man homeless, and you just did that to the okay. All right.
So anyways, when you walk in, you can see the inside of it looks just like it did on the outside. The ground is kind of broken up. It does not look well kept, though everything that's on the walls and on display is immaculate. The cloth is very pristine. It's odd because it's like everything around is colorful, but the room is terrible. It's this weird mismatch. Like none of this is supposed to exist in this room. Like someone took it and put it here.
Did somebody stole stuff from a...
Hey, I didn't steal anything! This is my store.
I'm sorry.
He spent all his money on the product.
Not to be rude, but it's your bedroom for some reason in the back.
And what if it is?
Noted.
You walk in and insult my stuff?
Not your stuff. You.
He pulls out like a thermos off the side and just like...
I'm too drunk for this.
I'm sorry.
I was just putting a mental note. Like I'm pretty sure that wasn't water.
Yeah, you're right. It's not water. It's prune!
Mental note.
Oh.
Mental note.
He just looks at you thinking about it. It's prunes!
I gotta go take a shit now.
Gotta limber up the old lower intestine when you get to my age. So what do you want?
I'm looking for like a captain's hat, and I was wondering, do you have any
Because
sale?
he's the captain now.
Well, I think the captain making fun of some people's subs. A little bit of a dick move, but fine. You want a captain's hat? Alright, I don't have anything, but I can make something real fast.
Real fast? How
Real
fast?
fast. 15 minutes?
15 minutes?
Yeah.
How much?
What you got?
8 gold.
8 gold?
8 gold for a hat.
That's an expensive hat.
That is pretty.
Can I make a intelligence like how average captain hat price would be?
Sure, make an intelligence check.
For a really nice like hat.
Maybe it had something special on it, maybe like a little pew pew, but
For 8 gold, he's got a fucking weapon in it?
no. It just goes pew pew.
Ooh.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
knows,
you just
he
press
knows
it.
the price.
You know,
It's a net
so you
20.
know that cloth can vary depending on the
Material.
level of the material and the efficiency of making it, but it's probably supposed to cost more. You get the feeling this dude just threw out a number based off of something that may have been rolled in his head.
It's supposed to cost more.
It's supposed to cost more than 8
For a
gold.
hat.
You say 8, right?
8.
I'll take it.
Good. 15 minutes. What do you want?
Prunes!
I wonder where he's at.
He slams down a second thermos. Do you think he can handle it?
50 gold!
If you're too young, you'd run for the shits.
For the shits.
You're too young. Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. She'll take it.
Make Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no.
You have to be kidding me.
He challenged me. He challenged.
I don't think he challenged you.
What is? Yeah, he did. If you think you can handle it,
I'm gonna go pee.
challenge.
Apparently, a writer's gonna go take a shit.
Right? I can't handle this.
I can't handle this conversation. My constitution, thank God, it's a plus
so
2.
glad
somebody finally did this. I had this
character made
when you first made it to Eltero.
Don't you mean make a constitution
Specifically for
saving throw?
hats?
Aha!
What?
Specifically
No, for
hats.
cloth or anything.
Aha! 16.
16. You hold steady. You take a sip. You clamp it down. You look him dead in the eyes. Respect. What kind of hat you want? Hat, clothes, whatever. I can make something.
Clothes?
Yeah. I labeled it as hats, but That's probably why people don't show up. It's probably because of me, personally. But I also make hats.
I don't know why you're such a new guy.
You're such a neat dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As he just slurps some more of the thermos from his back.
Actually, before that, I had a quick question. If you make all this, why don't you dress in it? Show off the merchandise.
I'm comfortable. Look, I don't want to make it dirty because of, like I said, prunes! Prunes! I have to run all the time.
I have to run off. We're just gonna think about that phrase for a second.
Suddenly, you also need to go.
No. I'll think about it.
Barely. I had to check. He's been sipping a bunch. He's got a little bit more tolerance.
It's like Mad-Eye Moody.
So what do you want?
And she said she'd think about it.
Oh. Hat. Good. And he just zooms into the back of the room.
I guess we'll be back in 15 minutes then.
So for some reason, you hear a
A
sob.
buzz saw and like flesh.
Yeah, you get your hat, and it's just like weird pink pigment for some reason, and it's just crazy.
Man,
Has hair on it.
I try to ask, make sure the hat's pink.
Oh no!
Anyways.
It's just a cloth replica.
So where are you going now?
So, Jack, what are we gonna do for 15 minutes?
Can't even take a drink.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
What happened?
I just finally got to use this character. I've had this character since the first time you made it to El Terrell.
Why?
Just because.
And you would think we were gonna go buy a hat?
Anything. It could have been clothes or something. But I wasn't gonna do it for like a mask. That's the only thing you guys would have to buy.
I was gone soon.
It was so fun. I'm so happy.
I think the mask also worked out great too, though, with the NPC you had for that.
Oh god.
I don't know how much gold it would be, but I think that's what she's gonna ask for.
Okay.
Are you
I
buying?
feel like you might be getting it for free.
One more.
Based on his characteristics.
No, that's how this guy haggles. If you can handle the drink, you get it.
You don't know. You didn't ask. So are you gonna ask for him, or are you gonna wait for the 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'll ask for him, I guess.
Okay. So how do you ask? So what do you say?
Don't say that word. Hatman.
Hatman. So as you say Hatman, he comes out. And more of the hats. What do you want? Did you come up with something?
I don't know how this is actually going to work, but she's gonna ask anyway. She just goes and just like does this with her clothes.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "If you can make this look better in your own flair."
The robe?
No, her traveler's clothes.
Oh,
She's
traveler's
still
clothes?
technically wearing.
I can make I can get some color in there. Might need a representation, but no, you know what? And he kind of opens up the little thing that's there, and when he kind of pulls up, you can hear. Is it just completely disturbingly unkept? And he goes up to you and he's like leaping into different portions of you, just kind of like looking at every angle to try to ascertain.
I forget if she's wearing her tiara or not.
Yeah, circular blasting? Probably.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she just kind of looks, he just looks at it. Look for something like kind of royalty feeling.
Regal.
Regal?
Yes.
Regal.
As she kind of like takes a pose with Moonshadow, it's like...
So noble-like. Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah, I got something.
What would the estimate be on that?
Nothing? You handled yourself? Fine. I'll do it for you.
Alright.
Alright. And he goes into the back.
We'll be back.
He peeks his head out. Another 15 minutes.
We'll be back again then for 15 minutes.
For 30 minutes.
I
30 minutes.
honestly thought she'd have to give him her clothes, and that's what she's like.
That's why he was like looking all over you.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought he went back in right away.
You can go back in now.
Jacqueline will look to her. She's like, I feel like we owe this guy some kind of, I don't know, advertisement.
Your soul.
How are we gonna advertise this though?
He also pops
Where's
it.
the product?
Forgot this, and he pulls the thermos back and like disappears into the fucking back room again.
Of course, yeah.
I thought you put that in your pocket, but or. So how are we gonna advertise this
I thought he
then?
was
Are we just
wearing
gonna
it
say,
on his
hey,
back.
you know about this shop?
How good are your art skills?
How good? What?
How good are your art skills?
Yeah.
Not good.
Wrong group for this project.
It's not better than writers.
I don't think so.
Not when Ryder's in the mood.
I'll think of something. She won't. She won't.
So, what are you guys doing?
Uh,
You guys just waiting for the 30 minutes?
Yes.
in his shop,
In his shop?
crisscrossed, on the ground,
Okay.
sitting.
Okay. When you're kind of sitting, it's definitely not comfortable. Where you kind of sit, you initially sit on like probably a loose nail that's not like all the way in. It's not sharp, but it's definitely just like, You kind of scoot over into the point where you're kind of sitting on another plank, though the plank is also dipping inward some, so it's kind of like it's wherever it's resting isn't stable. So it's like there's a small gap from that was on the ground.
I don't have my props.
It's definitely not super comfortable, but yeah. So you both just wit.
Before it
wait.
gets out, you fall in the
Just wait.
basement.
I'm stuck in his fucking face now.
Yeah, we just wait.
Okay. So the other three that are over in the Grand Library, what are you guys doing?
How many books have I gone through?
At this point, you've gone through 2. One of them was completely useless to you. You have read up part of it. Just throw it. Okay. All right. Important notion. So
Yeah,
you
I
just.
He throws it back onto the shelf. Doesn't land correctly, but
No, not at all. It's like partially
Definitely.
open. Some of the pages are like folded in onto each other because it's throwing a book is like throwing a fucking Tasmanian devil into the air. This book that you're reading, though it has a lot of information about arcane, it's a lot of information that you already know. So
back to the shelf.
yeah, so you have the one book that's kind of confusing to you, and then there's a bunch of other books over there. You can continue to read some of those as well.
Oh yeah.
But as you're kind of just like throwing the books back into place and just like looking at them, this woman comes up to you. Excuse me, if you're going to be acting like that, then you need to leave the library. These books are property of the city, and I'm not going to handle you throwing them like that.
Throws a book in her face.
Just thumbs up and goes back to the book.
Okay. And she goes over to it's the woman that was in the centerpiece before. She goes over, picks up the books, like fleshes out all the pages, folds it in properly, closes it, puts it on properly, and then she goes back to her place. So, Zakaris, you just witnessed all this.
I don't say anything.
Just steal a stack of books. It's change it to something else.
Well, that's a good idea. I won't do that though.
So, Ryder, after leaving your room, you see them sitting there as Felix is just staring at book.
I telepathically ask the chaos, what's happening?
He's making a scene.
let's go. I'm gonna. You know what? Let's go get your armor because I might need a new set now too.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Felix, you coming with?
He's like, what?
Make a perception check.
Hope he was bad.
Roll.
6.
You say that? There's no response.
All right, have fun.
Doesn't even nod.
Right.
I saw you trying to take a sip of your Snapple, you couldn't. his tongue reached for the Snapple and it couldn't reach. So you two go back to the Wolf's Den.
Yes.
Okay. So
Just tell me now if I'm gonna find anything useful other than the one book.
probably not other than the one book. The a lot of them are just delving into magic that you're not necessarily capable of. None of them are magical either. It's all just basic knowledge.
And nothing's on what I would need at the point in time.
No, doesn't seem like it. Based off of your investigation from before.
Yeah, whenever he finally realizes that he's gonna go check out the one.
Okay, yeah, that'll still take some time because you're still looking at it and like, there's got to be something in here, and you're understanding some of it. A lot of it's talking about materials and magical means from other planes, but then once it kind of delves into them, it goes into speech and runic symbols that are in that dialect, so you're not able to potentially understand most of them. There's some Fae that you can definitely understand, but then even then, it's not necessarily all of it. It's some of the symbols, some of the mannerisms, but you're not gathering all of the information possible from the book. So the two of you that are going to Wolf's Den, making your way there, spending about 30 minutes to get over there. Your hats are done. When you go, you guys can see on the inside is Strawn, who's conscious. He's currently propped himself up. His hand is down. He's got sweat matted to his face, so his hair is just kind of like stuck to it. And he's got what looks to be a very large mug of water.
Strong. Yeah.
He just looks at you. Yeah.
Looks like you and was looking to find Gopher.
Gopher's unconscious on the table still.
Looks like you and Gopher had a good time.
Best time. I need to sober myself.
Is it Wednesday?
Is it the moon? Is it the blue moon
Is
yet?
it crescent moon tonight? Oh,
30 moons.
we're gonna be.
Oh, has it been?
Yeah, you do you. Let's go, Asparagus. And I look over at the
Barman.
and I nod my head.
He nods back, picks up a candle, goes over to the door, opens it briefly, and motions for you both to enter fast.
And I rush in.
Yep.
Sakaris is too funny. Gets cut.
He
cut in
closes the door behind him and puts down the candle. Well, you mean he closes the door behind him. He's not inside the room with you. So entering the room, you can see that Quinn is there. She has set up what looks to be like a portable table, and it has a load of different tools on top of it. A lot of them are just of bits and pieces of the actual tool set. So there's some that are jewelers, some that are mason workers, things like that. When you enter, immediately the first impression is dangerous, because the moment that you kind of enter, both Vaughn and the other woman have their swords like at their ready, and then when they see that it's you, they both put them down.
I like how Vaughn
Steady.
knew they were coming
Just us.
at some point.
Well, they were just watching the door open. They didn't know from what.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Steady. It's just us.
let's make sure.
Down, boy.
Well, Asparagus, go claim your armor.
Yeah, I have it fully ready. And she kind of like pulls out this like large hide armor that's just kind of meshed together. It looks very intricate and would probably function very nicely as a hide armor.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Make a quick perception check.
It is beautiful. My daughter did it.
That's a nat 1.
Nat 1? Okay, yeah. Yeah. So you put it on, and it's pretty nice. It's snug and fits very well to your form.
Quinn.
Alright.
Actually, I have a favor, if you don't mind.
What would you need?
If you don't mind.
Where's your shell stuff?
That's it. I guess you say I lost it, and I need to acquire a new set of armor. And if it's possible,
Why'd you say it like that? It's just armor.
Don't you have leather armor?
No, I don't. I got rid of it.
You did get rid of it.
You didn't have mine. I still have mine.
Is it possible for you to make me some light armor?
I can do something like that. Yeah. I can make another hide one like his.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, that's medium.
Oh.
I can make. I can get you like some studded leather. Sure.
Okay. What's the leather? Just leather, right, Tyler?
It's studded leather is AC 12 plus your full dex.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
Your full dex is plus 2, so your REC would be 14.
What was the last thing I had before? It was like leather with metal platings on it.
That's studded leather.
Oh, is that studded leather?
Yeah, that's studded
Yeah.
leather.
Oh, okay.
The studded part comes
Okay.
from the metal.
Okay. Yeah, that would work. How long will it take?
I mean, a few hours maybe. I was just finishing up his, so it'd just take a little bit of time.
Alright.
Nothing too long.
Alright, if you don't mind, how much would it be?
Just, I guess, just because of the materials, about 5 gold or so.
Sure, I hand her 5 gold.
Okay, yeah. And,
Family discount.
I mean, it's either you get the family discount or you say a word and you die. It's like one of the other two options here.
Honestly, yeah.
It's like either you get this nice armor or you say a word and you're fucked. So
Yeah, like, think if I said freaking, now name your god, Tiamat.
yeah, things would have changed pretty drastically.
What?
No.
You
And then he takes out the safety off the knife.
Then he shanks you? He's not gonna use that thing, he's gonna push you off. Anyways, so as you kind of take it, just make a. Actually, no. Okay. So you hand her the 5 gold. You just kind of put it in her palm, and she like holds it out and kind of like grabs your hand briefly, and then like slides the 5 gold out, and you can definitely feel parchment in your palm.
Oh, okay.
With her natural 20 on sleight of hand.
Wow.
Was she
girl.
trying to give that to Karis?
We don't know that. We don't know anything at the hide armor. Maybe when he puts on the hide armor, you just
Is there a
and
note
then
in the
just
armor
punctured
now?
by like scales.
Why would it be punctured by
Why is there a
scales?
piece of note in my armor?
Well, you don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, thank you, and I just put my hands in my pocket. I'll be back in a few hours then to come pick it up.
Sure, yeah.
Thank
All
you.
that before at least night.
All right, thank you. Lady Asparagus.
I've got to clear the air before we leave on the off chance that things are not well between us. Vaughn,
I understand.
I know you don't like me.
It's not that I don't. It was at the moment the anger took. My altercation was genuine, though. I do not agree with what you've done.
Yes, well, that's fine. Just know that you will not find an enemy in me.
I can feel that. If it was the other way around, then I understand where you are coming from. In due time, a mutual agreement will be able to be established between the two of us. Right now, I'm still weary, but I know that you have the best intentions currently with those around you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stayed, and you wouldn't have said what you did.
I just look at him, don't say anything, and I turn to leave.
Okay.
I nod my head. Thank you, and I leave too.
All right.
And then I guess I'll walk out of the wolf's den. Just give a look to Gopher Black. Yeah.
Yeah, Gopher has been repositioned. You can see his arms aren't just like plastered onto the table; they're actually like down to his sides in a more comfortable position. And you look in the alchemy jug, and there's water filled to the brim on the front of it.
That's not like him at all.
Because it wasn't him.
It was Vaughn.
It was might have been someone. But
It was just the barman.
It was smart man.
The first time he talks is in
and nobody can hear him.
Yeah.
Perhaps. So, what are the two of you, Zakaris and Ryder, doing?
Well, once I'm out of wolf dens, I look at the parchment.
Okay. What you can see is on it, in small writing, it says, I desire to go with you.
She had the same idea as me.
Oh, son of a bitch. Are we kidnapping her?
I sent a message to Asparagus.
Through telepathic thought?
Yeah. We gotta find a way to take her with us.
We're kidnapping her.
Not kidnapping.
Heist 2.0.
It's like a heist, but we're stealing a person and not material gain.
And a small
I
child.
asked Asparagus, you think I could fit her in the bag of holding?
She definitely fit. I mean, she's not that big.
I love the three people who's got glasses have them down right now. This is the thumbnail right now.
You're welcome.
You do realize, though, if we get caught, Vaughn will kill us.
Maybe, but
There's no maybe in that.
maybe he'll understand us.
Zakaris,
No.
now make a perception check with advantage this time now that you're wearing the armor.
Alright.
You rolled 2 1s.
That was another natural 1, but I'll go with the 15.
Okay. After kind of like leaning back to like this kind of like pitches into your mind from Ryder's thoughts, you feel crinkling against your back, and you kind of just like pull it. It's a crinkled piece of paper, a lot larger than the one that Ryder has. And when you kind of unfurl it, it says, I need to leave. I have learned as much as I can here, and grandfather's getting worse. If I don't go with you, then he may perish, and I can't let that happen. If he is distracted, I can leave.
Oh my god.
And that's what the parchment says.
Telepathically back to Ryder. I'm like, okay, she's in. She's in for the hype.
We're screwed.
And then I say into his I tell him to say heist.
See, this is the best, too, because the two of you literally can't be heard. Unlike sitting down at a fucking table being like, so here's how we do the heist. 30 feet from the shop. It's right there. What do we do?
I still don't know how the fuck they fucked
Hey, let me
that
ask a
up.
professional. Hey, shop guy, how can we heist from you?
Yeah.
The only thing that would have been different is if you just walked into the fucking back room. It was just like darkness, and then you just started stealing shit. Like that's the only thing that would have been different, and it would have saved.
Well, but yeah,
a whole
especially if you just like push him aside, like see it. Yeah. Let me through.
Let me through. What are you doing? Where are the lights?
Should we?
And also, Max, what are you talking about? We, they.
You were a part of it. You agreed with
No,
it.
this one, no.
Not
They.
this one. Not this one. But the
He's
past
like,
one.
he said we're screwed. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We.
Unfortunately, they're part of the group.
There was
piss Vaughn
there's
off.
me and we.
What? Oh my god.
They piss Vaughn off. It's gonna
Okay.
mess with us.
Should we tell the others Asparagus?
Well.
This is all telepathically.
Okay.
It's easy enough to establish.
It's like a guy walks like, what are you talking about?
I suppose we could. But if we're gonna tell them, we're
I
not
don't-
gonna be doing a heist.
Okay, we're not calling it a heist. Not to them, at least.
A kidnapping. A theft of person? Is that better?
A theft of person?
Look, a kidnapping.
No, that doesn't work though. But she was.
You're not that.
Yeah, what do you call assisted kidnapping?
Asparagus. We can
Arrest
call
you.
it. We can call it. Putting the kid to sleep. Kidnapping.
Oh god.
What about forceful relocation?
It's not forceful. She wants it.
Relocation. Protective
Heist
services.
2.0.
Oh, yeah.
Kidnapping.
There we go.
Protective service.
Child
We
protective.
okay, we can tell them we gotta hit a secret job.
Alright.
Okay.
But they're gonna ask about it.
I mean, obviously, and we'll tell.
We're gonna steal Bond's granddaughter. It's gonna be great.
I think. Oh man.
Son
Okay.
of a bitch.
We need-
so screwed.
We need days to think of a plan and prepare.
Why don't we just go tell them that she chooses to leave?
Honestly, that was one of my ideas. Just persuade them, saying she wants to leave, and give them a good reason. That's.
And while you've distracted them, we'll put her in the bag.
Are we bringing back Mouse Karis?
Yes, maybe.
Miles Carey's gonna carry the bag holding into the room and out.
I just want to paint this picture for you all. He is dead.
Oh, we know there's a webcam.
I know. Not for them. For us. The only person you can't see is the computer. This is 2 people going like this, and 4 people going like... What is happening?
This was the same thing that happened with the heist.
I mean, yeah.
I was dying. Max over there was like, his face was so red. Calvin wanted to be a part of it, and then it was you 4.
And then they fucked everything up.
It went
Somehow
downhill
it's-
real fast.
But we got it at the end.
I also love how literally the 3 people with glasses just went...
I said that. It's gonna be the thumbnail.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
Let's go find them at this hat shop they were looking for.
Alright.
Alright, let's. Oh,
We're gonna go attempt.
I guess Felix is going to be on board with anything we do. Honestly, he's. Just give him a book, he'll be fine.
Give him an excellent tome.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
just
I
just
mean,
leave him there at the library
Vaughn's not the
while
only
we
one
do
you have to
this.
distract.
Have I figured out?
Alright, we're heading towards the hat shop.
Heading towards that shop. You found out at this point that there's no other books that are going to be of use to you apart from the one that's in front of you.
I go check it out.
Okay, yeah. When you go up to the counter, the woman that's there, she looks at you. All right. Have you decided on the selection of book that you wanted?
Without throwing it.
She pulls it. She pulls it. She flips through a number of the pages. Okay. How long are you planning to use it?
Indefinite.
There's no time constraint, but we just need to have an estimate of what time you might have it back.
Didn't think about that part.
You just want to keep it.
You just want to keep it.
No, I actually.
5 gold. Can I have it?
You know he's thinking about doing it.
I'm trying to think like. So we're here for at least 3 days.
I mean, that's dependent on how long you guys stay.
We bought a hotel room for 3 days.
I mean, you could just leave, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the airship ready and everything. We
That's
can
a
stay
waste
as
of
long.
money.
We can stay as long as the crane is ready. The crane thing is ready, or we can just leave right away.
Okay, 3 months later.
Hey, you don't know about the crane thing.
Oh,
3 months later.
good point.
A year later.
Yeah, so basically, what are we doing? I'm assuming...
You're not there.
No,
So
I'm
what are
talking
you
about
doing,
Claire?
Felix?
He's sitting here like trying to work out a like time frame.
Should I just put a temporary take?
That'd be helpful.
She grabs a stamp and puts it directly on the front and closes it. As long as it's not damaged, you can return it at any time.
Perfect.
But you will not be able to take out any other books until it is returned.
Eh.
So, she hands it to you. And please, don't throw it like you've done with those 2 other there.
Yeet.
Right.
You can see at this point, getting closer to the center, the 17-year-old boy. He's actually got like a book out, but he doesn't seem to be reading it. He just has it open and he's just looking down at it. It doesn't look like anything interesting either. It looks to more like a story about an adventure or tale. But he's just looking at it and is not flipping the pages or actually reading. But that's what you can see from getting up closer.
And now I turn and I have a crisis and be like, where the fuck is this hat shop?
Where did anybody go?
Well, I knew they went.
You went to the hat shop. You don't know where
I
the
literally
fuck
just turned
those
and
2
I'm like,
went. Oh,
where the
shit.
fuck is the hat shop?
You, Felix, never being a part of this city, is now alone.
In the city.
And I think this is a good place for us to take our break.
I turn back and I'm like, where's the hat shop? That's what I was told where other people are going to be.
Not a hat shop.
So, thank you everyone for listening. This is going to develop I'm getting this sense of similar to what happened when we were in Dragon Spear. First sit down was you guys doing stuff, learning a little bit, enjoying yourselves. Second one was the heist, and then the third was you leaving. Like that's exactly what I feel like is happening right now.
Exactly. Yes.
Except for this time with
The heist might be faster. That's the difference.
No, the heist is more dangerous.
Actual stakes. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Those stakes may be made out of Zacharis.
So, thank you everyone for watching, and we hope to see you again. If you did enjoy it, then please drop a like or give a comment of maybe what you think is going to happen for this heist, potentially, of kidnapping sense.
And please check out...
We're gonna...
If you are ever so great, generous, then please drop a subscription to us on YouTube. It does help immensely, and it would mean the world to us to have you be a part of our community. So I hope to see you again when we get back to this on another Misrolled Adventures.